How's it going, Critter Family? I hope you all are doing well. We're back at it with the webcam, with the face camera, so I hope you guys enjoy. Today, I was going to go over a different video, one which will be up in the next couple of days of, he used to be known as America's Canine Educator, but I think he changed his name to Upstate Canine Academy. But either way, today, I saw a video from Zak George, titled Speaking Out Against the Most Problematic Dog Trainer on the Internet. And I love this series. I love so much that someone with as big of a following as he has, and, you know, in general, as positive of a message as he's been trying to spread, I appreciate that he's sticking his neck out on the line to bring awareness to such a danger, honestly, in society. I know, especially the dog training society. You know, he doesn't have to. He could hide himself. He could just turn a blind eye, but he's not. He's been ridiculed. He's been, I think, unfairly. I think people just judge him and they just think, you know, whatever they think. I think he's very genuine. He's just kind of doing his own thing. He's never, you know, he's shown so many videos of how he trains dogs. You don't like it? There's a million other people you can follow. But regardless, I appreciate so much that he is really fighting to make a difference in this, you know, in the animal world, at least in the dog training world. So this was from a live stream he did a while back. I actually covered this video. This video, I think, is Augusto made a response to Zak. Basically, he said that he shut Zak George up, which I think it was the other way around. So I did a whole response to Augusto's video. You know, recently. If you want to check that out, you can. It will go over this you know, horrific video of the so-called dog daddy choking a dog and claiming it's training. And
this is routine from this guy. This is how he communicates with dogs. He is the most problematic dog trainer on social media. This is not how you deal with a fearful dog. This is not how you teach a dog who's behaving aggressively.
I'll tell you right now. If he ever tried this with Adonis, my Shiba, I mean, one, Adonis would just fight back and tear into him, rightfully so. And second, he would never get a hold of my dog. Otherwise, I would be tearing into him. Remember that no matter who you work with, you have the right to remove consent at any point. If you don't like anything they're doing, you can tell them, let go of my dog, we're going home. You may or may not get a refund, but they don't have to touch your dog if you don't want to. You have the right to do that. You have the right to fight. Whether you think that they know more than you or not, that's not the point. The point is that you could have somebody with 9 degrees in their background, but they still do something you don't want. Who cares if they are the professional or not? You can tell them, I don't want to do this, and walk off, and you know, in the end, it's up to you what you're comfortable with.
There is not one credible source that anybody can point to that these methods are acceptable and effective for addressing even issues of aggression long term. And
absolutely. And I totally agree with that. And, you know, my own Shiba, Adonis, is proof of that. That, look, first I will say, I never claim, and a lot of these positive reinforcement trainers, we're not claiming that it doesn't work. I have never said, I will never say it doesn't work. What I'm saying is it's not necessary. It's not helpful, and it's not benefiting the dog. Okay, just because it keeps the dog in the household and not being put down, that's not helping the dog. And Zak will talk about that here in a minute, about a false dilemma.
For non-experts and non-professionals who see a dog ultimately complying, do not confuse that intimidation and fear as long-term success. Methods like this have no place in the dog training industry. There's nothing about this approach that addresses the underlying cause of fear in dogs like this. In fact, the scientific evidence shows that it's likely to have the opposite effect and make aggressive behavior worse in the future.
And I've seen that firsthand with clients I've worked with, where I have to undo the training they've received from other people. You know, I've seen dogs that have been so psychologically and mentally abused and emotionally abused through the shock collar or e-collar training and prong collars and alpha rolling and all of that. I work and on counter conditioning bad training by people like this. By Augusto. My own Shiba, got worse from working with a compulsion trainer. She used a choke chain on him. That wasn't good enough, so she put a prong collar on him. She told me to get him out of the sled dog harness, just his regular harness, and put a, prong collar on him. Couldn't get him to sit. He redirected on her. She put a muzzle on him. Still didn't help. Made his behavior so much worse until, lo and behold, I found a PetSmart trainer and she turned us around. From that choke chain and prong collar, it changed his personality, it changed his behavior, it changed him physically. He had hypothyroidism. He had a collapsing trachea. No person could have taught me what my Shiba taught me. Adonis was the best teacher I've ever had. He taught me to have respect for another living creature. He didn't take nonsense. He taught me common sense. And people tell me in messages, mostly on the videos I do of Augusto, I hear it all. You don't know what you're talking about. You're a Karen. Where's your proof? This and that. Do you only work with little princess dogs? Whatever that means. Or since when did we start treating dogs like children? When did we start treating them like property? When do we stop treating them like property? Look, my Shiba, until the day he died, he was my child. He was my soul. He was my partner. He was my teacher. He was my everything. And he still is. I miss him every day. And I'm so grateful because without him, I would not be here. I owe everything to that dog. I owe him my career. And even though he's passed, his energy and his spunkiness, it's still in me. And I will fight this to the day I die to give dogs a better life. And when I receive an email or a message saying that I've actually helped someone, it's the best feeling in the world. And I cannot thank those people enough.
If you're a professional dog trainer or dog enthusiast on social media, I and others would be particularly interested to hear you speak up, especially if you happen to be one of those trainers who might use more mild aversives in your dog training. Because while a handful of you have, you're pretty quiet on this guy. There will be some people who see a video like this and they will tell me, Zach, it's unprofessional to go after another dog trainer. Be quiet. Stay in your lane. My perspective...
Those people are probably people who have never worked with a dog a day in their life. For the people who say that, look, for anybody, you don't have to be a professional or have any background in this to be able to see common sense that Augusto is dangerous and what he's doing is abusive and not helpful. You could have all the experience in the world, working with dogs for 40 plus years. Okay, I've been working with them professionally for 12 with my Shiba. But is that 40 years one time or 1 year of experience 40 times? For me, I can say it's 8 years of experience one time. I learn through it all. I don't just repeat and repeat, repeat. I'm not a broken record. I learn. And to the people who try to call out other people and say, stay in your lane, this and that. Okay, how about you try working with a dog with a bite history without ever giving them a single correction and without ever touching them, and help them and their owners. Until you can do that, I don't care what you have to say. You could say, I don't know, diddly squat, but yet you're the one blindly following a blatant animal abuser. The opinion of 10,000 men means absolutely nothing if none of them know anything about the subject.
In the past, he said, look, I'm saving dogs' lives. They're going to be euthanized if I don't get them under control. I want to point out the two fallacies this individual is making. Number one, appeal to emotion. Secondly, a false dichotomy.
Exactly.
He is basically saying there's only one option available because I assume he is highly unaware of alternative methods that are far more humane that have been...
Either he's unaware or he just doesn't care. I mean, it could be both. I mean, you don't know what you don't know. They're none so blind as those who refuse to see. And in the land of the blind, the man with one eye, being Augusto, he's king. And people who see that he gets, just like CJ Milan, people who see these people that get results, that's all they care about. The results themselves are not the most important thing. It's how you get those results that you should worry about.
been shown to be effective with dogs like this. Don't fall for that fallacious line of thought. As much as I would love to say, hey, this is an outlier, most dog trainers aren't like this.
God, I wish.
Maybe most dog trainers don't go to this degree to be this physical with dogs, but there are...
No, but I will say that there's many of them out there that are sneaky. They won't show you on their videos, they'll show you a dog who's lunging on a harness, but they don't show you they switched from the harness to a tiny slip lead. You know, the cord is about as wide as my headphones here. And they'll just use a tiny slip lead, they'll use a prong collar, they'll slip on maybe even an e-collar, or they'll hide it within the dog's fur. Or they won't show you the minute little taps and things they do. They only need to use a finger's worth of pressure because they have such a tight, small, painful tool being used on the dog. And that human, the owner, will have to rely on using that tool for the life of the dog because they didn't teach the dog anything. They're just holding them back.
Regular followers who think I may have lost sight of the big picture of showing people how to train their dog with modern evidence-based dog training methods, I assure you I have not. In fact, I've been posting regular episodes throughout this controversy we've been having over the last several months. I'm going to be...
And I just want to say, in part of his other, his live stream, Zak, stated, Zak or Bree, one of them stated that the people with the biggest following have the least education, which is really sad. The people that are most successful are the least educated, which is really scary, but it's absolutely true.
Posting a brand new episode on YouTube in the next day or two, talking about issues like this are what I'm doing with my extracurricular time. And believe me,
absolutely,
there are things I would rather do than this. What do you guys think we should do about this as a community? Do we just say, hey, live and let live, let this guy do what he wants to do, and you do you? I'm usually a fan of that logic,
sure.
But when it comes to affecting other living beings, especially complexly intelligent animals like dogs, I can't stay quiet about it, guys. Like, follow, share, tell me what you think below, and we'll go from there.
And that's why I want to say thank you, Zak. Honestly, you don't have to put your neck out there, but you're choosing to do it anyway because you do care about animals. You care about people and their animals and their relationship together. Well, in the end, if nobody else cares, then I care. And, Zak and Bree, I got your back. I know I'm a nobody. I know I'm a very small channel and insignificant piece of dust in the universe. But you have my support. So anyway, I just want to say thanks again, Zak. Thank you everyone for watching. This may or may not have been your cup of tea. I will be reviewing plenty of other suggestions I've received over the last little while, for the upcoming videos. But thanks for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you and the kind words you've given me for my sweet boy Adonis. Go give your little critter some kind of loving. Say howdy do for me. Until next time, stay positive.